Welcome to the Get Up Guys Daily Dose Podcast.
Get up, guys! Raise your voices to the skies! Get up, guys! In His name we rise!
Last Thursday, I dropped the ball. I didn't say a word about Juneteenth. I'd already published that day's episode, and truth be told, I didn't even realize what day it was until well into the afternoon. And that's on me, because Juneteenth isn't just an important part of American history, it holds a powerful lesson for every believer. Now, for those who may not know, Juneteenth marks June 19, 1865, when Union soldiers arrived in Galveston, Texas, and finally delivered the news that slaves were free. The Emancipation Proclamation had been signed by President Lincoln over 2.5 years earlier, but down in Texas, either through denial or delay, that message hadn't taken hold. People were still living in slavery even though they had already been set free. And right there, that part matches the story of so many Christians. We've been set free by the death and resurrection of Jesus. Romans 6:18 says, "You have been set free from sin and have become slaves to righteousness." But how many of us still live as though we're bound by shame, bound by guilt, bound by fear, still chained to old habits, old wounds, and a distorted view of who God is? It's like someone needs to show up in our life and say, "Oh, you didn't hear? You don't have to live like this anymore. You're free." The good news is freedom delayed doesn't mean freedom denied. So let me just say it clearly. If you're in Christ, you're not a slave, but a child of God. Galatians 4:7. And not only that, you're invited into something deeper. Not just obedience out of fear, but relationship built on love. John 15:15 says, "I no longer call you servants. Instead, I call you friends." So maybe you've been a believer for years, but you're still living under old lies and silent shame. Maybe, like Texas in 1865, no one's brought you the good news in a way that really sank in. So let's hear it today. You're free. John 8:36 says, "If the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed." Not because of what you've done, but because of what Jesus did. Don't keep living in slavery when freedom has already been declared. Let's live like free men, free to serve, free to love, and free to walk closely with the Father who calls us His own.
Get up, guys! Raise your voices to the skies!